Happy New Year. Can you turn your notifications off? Can you make that silent and not make noise? Hello, it says there's 4 people waiting here, so I'm going to see. Oh, hey, Gina Powell. April Lee was already here. Can you turn your notifications off? Can you make that silent and not make noise? There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, I think I'm actually here at the right time for once rather than showing up 2 hours after it's finished. Hey, Happy New Year! I ran out of time. I wanted to do a serial killer Saturday all weekend long, and this weekend just completely escaped me. Hey, Antonio! I updated my my channel default. Happy New Year, Anthony! This must be a better time for everybody to come. I'm so glad. And I did figure out how to do one little thing for you guys really quickly, just to make it like an official Serial Killer Saturday. You'll have to let me know, if you can see this video right here. I'll see if it shows up on your thing. If you can hear it, I'm playing the intro for Serial Killer Saturday. Just had to make a proper intro for you guys since I didn't make a video for you. You'll have to let me know if you could see that or not. I did already press stop sharing, didn't I? Okay. You guys will have to let me know if you got to see that or not, because I can't really tell yet. Hello. No, oh my. Happy New Year. So for me, it is 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have little less than 2 hours until it's 2018 here. I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait for 2017 to be over. Oh, you did see it. Thank you, Antonio, for letting me know. Little less than 2 hours till I can kiss 2017 goodbye, and I can't be happier. 2018 did wrap up on a good note for my whole family. It got dramatically better for everyone I know at the end of this year. But the rest of 2017 can go suck it. I'm so glad it's over. It was a rough year. 9 p.m. there. What about anybody else? Is anybody else like in a different part of the world? And do you celebrate Horror Realm? I'm going to try to start something, posting videos in 2018. I say that now, but we'll see how it goes. Do you guys want to talk about resolutions, or do you want to get into the Serial Killer Sunday live stream? I can't believe it's almost 2018, says Zombie King. I can't wait. I really can't. I feel like it's going to be one of the better years. You go through periods in your life where you'll have like really highs and lows. And for personally me, there's been a very rough low. I'm not ungrateful for my life. But it's been rough for a while, and finally it feels like it's going to be so much better. So I'm really glad you're all here to share this evening with me. West Virginia. Oh, we're on the same time realm, horror realm, same time frame. Okay, Happy New Year. I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm so glad you got notified. My husband's phone is right next to me on this desk, and he's watching the comments, because once I start reading, I'm like, if I see a squirrel, I'm going to go off track. So he'll help me with the commentary when I start reading. But do you guys want to Serial Killer whatever? Maybe I'll have to change the intro to Serial Killer Sunday. Since right before Christmas, I started working outside of the home. Daniel Gonzalez, good morning. Good morning. See, I'm used to doing live streams in the morning. This is the first time I've worked outside of the home in a long time, so I'm still figuring out my time management. So you guys will have to forgive me on that one. I've been dropping the ball, so I'll figure it out. Serial Killer Sunday. Oh, Delaware. Yeah. So man, how cold is it there? It's -6 here right now. Delaware's got to be colder. Aren't you right by the ocean? Isn't Delaware right on the ocean? Yeah, it's like really cold. Elena Henderson, Minister, Happy New Year from Washington State. Woo! Yeah. You're in the cold zone too, aren't you? Yeah. Yikes. I've always wanted to go there too. What's 16, Paul Kate? 16 degrees, okay. But who said they were from Delaware? Oh, okay. Duh. Sorry, Paul. I'm listening to this very cool live stream. Marty, a killer. Zombie killer. Killer zombie. Oh, got it. Top 5 serial killers. Yeah, it's kind of hard. If you've watched my Serial Killer Saturday series, I've covered a lot of serial killers that, which is teat, haha. I've covered a lot of serial killers that I had never, ever heard of before. Like Pedro Lopez is probably, Pedro Lopez and I have to look through my thing here just a second and see. There was a lady I covered, and I believe she was from the 19th century. I can go right to my playlist and go back and look at it. And I can tell you that it's a woman that I had never heard of before. You remember her? Antonio Marti? Hold on a second. I'm so sorry. I'm looking back to see. Somebody's probably going to say it when I go back to look at the comments too. 23. Oh, here she is. Enriqueta Marti. She was just as bad as Pedro Lopez. I had never heard of either one of them before. And I don't know about you guys, but that's kind of infuriating. Kahlest, hello. Been too long since I've listened to your live stream. I know, because I can't do it in the morning anymore. I mean, I guess I could get up super duper early and read for you guys in the morning, but I don't know who would be up. I guess it would be kind of like a reverse thing where people would just like already be up. Shabari Monroe, first time listening. Hey, I'm so glad you're here. Was that Lavinia? No, not Lavinia. Her name was Enriqueta Marti. Pedro Lopez got out, and he was freed after 20 years because of the country that he lived in. Most people believe that the waiting family members of all the children that he violated and murdered got a hold of him when he got out, and he probably didn't make it very far, but the fact that he was released at all is a terrifying concept. Okay. What's everybody doing tonight? Are you just huddled inside? Here it's really, really cold, and we just got back from visiting someone, and we're staying in because it's cold here, and people like to drink on New Year's Eve, and we want to stay alive, so we're home. First time listener. You are? I swear you've been to a live stream before, Zombie King. You haven't? Well, I'm glad you're here. Does anybody have any resolutions? I don't want to say resolutions anymore because I feel like resolutions are easily broken. And I feel like if you just set like 2 or 3 major goals, or maybe just one major goal that you want for yourself, and make it a goal, not a resolution. Everybody says, I want to lose weight, get organized. That's something you can do really anytime, but you can make a resolution anytime or a goal anytime. But it feels like when you start a new year, you can just, your mindset can just help you with that new number. Just start over. Maybe you'll make it a week. Maybe you'll make it the whole year. You don't know, but it's trying. Jen, hey, I'm at a party and I can't turn it up, but I want to say Happy New Year. Oh, you're the only one that will be at a party, I think, here. I fixed my name for you, and now I am No-No. Thank you, No-No. Because it was no. Pablo. Hey, Pablo. Hey, Brian Morrow. Atlanta, it's 30 degrees here. It's, well, oh my gosh, 30 degrees here. When it's 30 degrees here, it'll probably be what, Mike? April? My gosh. Katie says, was at a wedding and saw this and made my name. Did you leave the wedding to come and listen to this? I have so much pressure. Your conversations like these is why you're among my favorite. Oh, because I ramble? Because I like to ramble? Paul K, I'm heading out at 11. All right, okay. So is there like a big celebration you guys are going to? Gotta be social. Love you to bits. I love you too, Jen. I'm typing for Jen. don't know why that just got noisy all of a sudden. Didn't it let me type? It didn't let me type, did it? It didn't. Okay. You're hiding from the reception. See, I'm the type where I want to, I don't know what just happened there. I accidentally screen shared or something for a second. I don't know what happened. I'm not screen sharing now, so not sure what happened. Oh, I went backwards on my own stream. Wow, smart girl. Okay. Paul Kate said, no, it's a party down the street. It's 10 degrees in New Hampshire, says Zombie King. Just no man sitting here working on learning a Megadeth song. Cool. Zombie King, nope. My sisters live in Philadelphia and it's cold there. Yeah. 30 degrees here will be welcome. But I'm the type where I'm mentally, I really want to go to one of those great big huge New Year's Eve party. But then once I got there, I'd be like, no, I want to go. So in spirit, I want to be there, but I'm good. Like, I like to like watch the ball drop and then I want to like just be home. Wait, am I ignoring you? Wait, who's ignoring you, kitty baby? Didn't I already say? Oh, hello, kitty baby. I thought I did say that already. A couple times, though, like when you first got here. Didn't I? I'm scrolling way up. Life is a circle. Yeah. I said hi to you, girl. What? My stepson is on the live stream. Cam.
He won't answer his phone when his dad calls.
Oh, but he won't answer his phone when his dad calls. Okay. Kitty baby. Nono says, I want to make more gratitude. No, it's not. You can like scary stuff and still be a grateful person. That's totally fine. You just have to find, even if you have the worst day ever, find the tiniest thing to be grateful for that and cling to that with dear life. Nope, ZZ. What was that? Nope. I'm losing my track. Anyway.
Zombie King said, I can eat everyone in the chat.
I can eat everyone. Can I eat everyone in the chat?
Eat me.
You better get a fork and knife and a freaking bib. Oh, shit. I'm going to eat everyone. Get in line, baby. Kahlest Enoch says, yeah, I went upstairs to my sister over turkey dinner tonight, and 10 minutes later I came back down to be in my nice, cool cave. Yeah. I always want to be at a big party in my head, but once I get there, just like, if I'm hosting something, for some reason, I feel, because I have something to do, then I'm totally fine. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but if I'm hosting the party, I'm busy, I have stuff to do, I can socialize and keep myself busy. But if I go to a party, especially if it's at someone else's house, I feel like if the worst part, if it's like you will know the host, but you don't know anyone else at the party. Oh, God. The pressure. Who is Mr. Voice? What? Zombie King, I'm going to eat everyone. Kitty baby, yes. Like pretty hair, nails, skin, be happy. Who is Mr. Voice? Okay. Horror Realm. I don't know what that means. No. Horror Realm. I do run a closed group on Facebook called The For or Place. You guys want to check it out and subscribe, Lady Duchess. I put your live feed on there just now as well. So if you guys like to check it out. Oh, cool. Thank you. I always forget to post the live streams to Facebook. It's terrible. And I only have a few people there that are really actively like liking my stuff there, but I still totally forget to tell them. It's just awful. Oh, yeah. Oh, the husband is in the background. Because once I start reading about Ramirez, it'll be hard for me to go back and forth between the chat and the thing, but it just helps me stay focused because, you know, I'm a squirrel, but I am who I am. Yeah, it's Mr. Darkness. I got to teach him how to help with making videos because it would cut down my my time in the computer when I get home from work, so for sure. Have you ever heard of Crypt TV? It's a horror short film channel on YouTube, co-founded by Eli Roth. Nightmind, a fellow horror YouTuber I'm subscribed to and patron of, did a video on it. I will check it out. Definitely. Horror Place, what's it called? The talk type thing really sucks on these phones. Sorry guys, have a good night. Oh, Kitty, I guess you answered Mr. Dark. Oh, yeah. Oh, are you leaving, Horror? Okay. Bye, Horror. Cameron, my stepson, says, and I am who I am, a crazy son of a bastard. What? Don't swear on here. No says, hey, why no webcam? Because you don't want to see this face at the end of the day. I probably will do a webcam. I'm going to update my glasses and do a webcam. It'd be much easier to, I think, do a live stream with a camera. I also want to figure out how to hook up my other microphone because you really can't hear my narrating voice. Are you all right over there? You can't hear my, you're breathing really heavy over there like you're working out. And it's like really hard to balance on. Anyway, I lost my train of thought now. What was I talking about?
Camera and your mic.
Oh, I want to figure out how to hook up my narration mic to my live streams so that I can do that because I would prefer that. So in the future, very soon, definitely. Looking at my list. If you want to see what I look like, you can go to my Snapchat or my Instagram or my Twitter. There are eyes on there. It's just easier to do this. I prefer not to have to put on makeup or anything else spectacular to read to you guys. Kahlest said, okay, I just spotted something in Calgary. The zoo had to bring the penguins inside because it was too cold for them. Oh, really? Because penguins survive in very cold weather. And wow. Antonio says, you should check out the video on Crypt TV by Nightmind, Brian Merrill. It's a great introduction to the channel. Cameron Forbes said, you should do a live stream with your stepson. He seems really funny. That was my stepson that said that. Kitty Baby, no, I dropped it and just puts out the random crap. Kitty Baby says, I bet you're gorgeous. Opinions vary. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Do you guys want to do, well, I came on, I'm subscribed to Crypt TV. I'm going to look up Crypt TV while we're on here so I can find it. Squirrel. Someone's going to say squirrel in the chat pretty soon. Antonio says, it's just cool listening to that same horror narrating voice you have, Duchess. Yeah, but I don't know if you can actually hear it in this microphone because this microphone is a Logitech headset, and it does not pick up the same voice as my regular microphone. Like I think if I were on my phone, you would hear my voice better than you can hear it on here. But if you're good with it, that's cool. Brian says, coolness. Kitty Baby says it's 1 degree here. Yeah, it's really cold here too. Zombie King says, can I put everyone on an examination table and do some test? I'm going to say no. Yeah, Kahlest said squirrel. Kahlest also said, granted, it was more because they have the chicks and the temps tonight are expected to drop below -25. It's way too fucking cold. That's true. Nono says, okay, I don't visit those sites, but I shall. I'm not so cute myself without planning. My voice is mesmerizing. I don't listen to my videos until they're all put to, like, I don't listen to it in entirety until I've posted it for you guys. So sometimes I'll go back after you guys have already heard it, and then I'll listen to it just to see like what the story sounds like in its entirety with the music and the video, and I'll put myself to sleep. But when I first started listening to that, it was like, oh God, how can anyone listen to my voice? Yeah, if you ever record yourself and hear it back, then you know what I'm talking about. It's an adjustment for sure. Crypt TV. Okay, I found it and I subscribed. They have 339,000 subscribers, by the way. Wow. Cameron says, it's hot where I'm at. I want to live in the ocean because the ocean is so cold. Well, wait till you get home, Cam. It's friggin' freezing here. Coming loud and clear. Thank you. Does anyone live in a town? Daniel says, does anyone live in a town or city with a movie theater that screens retro horror movies from the 80s, Child's Play, The Shining, etc.? That'd be so cool. You know, I wish they did. I wish I did. Zombie King says, have you seen my videos? No, do you have a channel, Zombie King? Kitty Baby says, no crap, it's lovely. I love men, but I love your voice. I get it. I get it. You can. I'm fans of females too. It doesn't mean anything other than loving. You can admire people without it being anything different than it is. No worries. Trust me, there's been days when I just feel awful, and I'll read one comment that's a good comment from probably one of you guys that are in this live stream, and it makes me feel so much better. You don't even know, because, phew, man. Anyway, Gina says, I actually, once again, did not get notified, but I just happened upon it just now. Really? Huh. All right. Kitty Baby says, I do. Antonio says, 80s horror was just intense. Zombie King, yes, I do. I will check it out, Zombie King. The music for 80s horror. Yeah, I think there's a lot of 80s movies that were better in all genres. I don't know what happened. They were making cinema. And then I do also like the new indie film way, though. Also, I like all different kinds. I don't like just one genre of anything. So let's see. Let me go back. I lost. That's kind of hot, Kitty Baby. Brian Morrow. I'm at 180 subs so far. No. LOL, my voice. So how do we get a critique of our voice? Record yourself in anything and hear it back. No. But if you really want to try it, just like pick a paragraph of anything, hit record on something, and see if you can read it through without having to stop at all and making it sound interesting to pull people in. Kitty Baby, that's right. I just don't want you to think I'm getting creepy. No, you're not even in the category of creepy, Kitty Baby, so you're good. Zombie King says, thank you. Kitty Baby says, Brian, yes, it is. Gina Powell says, my chat doesn't seem to be matching up to where you guys are talking in real life. Fast forward the video. Plus, there is a delay. And I can never figure out the delay. Sometimes it's not that fast or not that slow, and then sometimes it's like a minute where I'm like, okay. Okay. I am going to start reading Ramirez if you guys want to hear it. I actually found a few. I wasn't going to do Ramirez because he covered. If you guys don't know who that is, he was known as the Night Stalker. Let me see here. Picture up somewhere. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Sorry. Try recording yourself and singing, Brian says. Kitty Baby, mine is. Antonio says, sub to you, Brian Morrow. Kitty Baby, yeah. Let's see. Let me go to Ramirez. I had him saved over here, but I also made a document and tried to get I want to find a news article so I can summarize for you who he is, because I don't think that everybody knows who he is. Let me see a count in the chat of who knows who he is. Ramirez reminds me of the character of Dexter, his brother Brian. I think it's just to test my voice of speaking. Kahlest says Ramirez also stayed in the same hotel that Elisa Lam died in. Sandra Wellbrenner, Happy New Year all. Happy New Year, Sandra. Thank you for coming. Let me see here. I was going to look up Richard Ramirez, like a news article, so I could show you guys, just to see if you knew who he was. Murder Made Me Famous combines reenactments. Okay. Richard Ramirez was a serial killer. Let me see here. trying to best describe him and sum him up for you before I start reading on him. My voice better not go out on me. It's so cold here, though. If anybody's like in the cold weather and you go in and outside, the wind here yesterday, the wind chill was just enough to like give me windburn on my face walking from the car to the store. He's your least favorite serial killer? Laughing Jack Creepypasta says, hello, everyone. Dubco says, not that I'm into serial killers. Antonio, Brian says, Antonio, wow, cool. I must have missed whatever they were talking about there. Gina says, okay, duh, fast forwarded. Now I'm here. Boy. No, you're not slow. It's just, it's confusing, though. You're getting the hang of it. You're good. He was the second Night Stalker. Antonio says, Notorious Hotel Cecil in downtown LA is that hotel where Ramirez and Austrian serial killer Jack Unterweger stayed too. Wow. Brian says, hey, Gina. Sandra says, born in Mexico with brain damage. I found actually quite a few interesting facts on him, so I'm just going to start reading on him. Let me sum up for you who he was. He was a serial killer, raper, robber, mutilator. The number of victims supposedly is between 13 and 16, although he was charged with 19 counts, 19 death sentences. He died in prison on June 7th of 2013. I'm going to start reading on him right now. I had set aside some stuff on him. All right. Should I say welcome back to another Serial Killer Saturday on a Sunday. To wrap up this year, I'm profiling highly requested superstar Richard Ramirez, also known as the Night Stalker. I wasn't going to do him if I couldn't find out something about him that I didn't know. And most of the time, people will just listen to the news and what they tell them, and they won't research it. They won't find out more facts. So I found a few interesting facts. Not only did Ramirez have something wrong with him, his whole family did, except for his sister. So let's start it out. Richard Ramirez was born on February 29th in 1960 to Julian and Mercedes Ramirez, two hardworking Mexican immigrants. He was their fifth and last child, with three brothers and a sister who preceded him. Initially, the family settled in El Paso, where Julian had a job laying track for the Santa Fe Railroad. Mercedes had a job at the Tony Lama boot factory, where she mixed chemicals and pigments for the boot leather. Mercedes was carrying Richard while she worked at the boot factory, but had to quit her job in the 5th month of pregnancy. The fumes from the pigments and poor ventilation made her weak, lightheaded, and nauseous. While Richard was not planned, he was adored as the baby of the family. His older sister Ruth, who frequently took care of him, was devoted to him. Julie and Mercedes had very high hopes for their children and constantly sacrificed to provide a good home for them. Their oldest son, Joseph, had been plagued from childhood by poor health and serious orthopedic problems that were believed to have been resulted from his parents' exposure to nuclear fallout and radioactivity from New Mexico. With their limited resources, they paid for 15 operations to help Joseph try to lead a normal life. Two other boys, Reuben and Robert, had learning disabilities and behavioral problems in school. It looked as though Richard, the baby, might escape some of the difficulties his older brothers had experienced. Richard continued to be Ruth's personal doll. For hours, she'd play house with him like he was her child, talking to him softly in both English and Spanish. Richard was a good baby, didn't cry much, and ate and slept well. He was particularly good-looking, with well-formed face and big, round, long-lashed eyes. Life was not easy in the Ramirez family, but they all worked hard to make ends meet. Julian and Mercedes loved their children and provided for them to the best of their ability. The boys, who were rebellious-natured and hot-tempered like their father, could have benefited from more supervision, but Julian had to travel to lay track for the railroad and was away from home frequently. Reuben and Robert started to get into trouble with the law. They were sniffing glue, stealing cars, burglarizing homes, and hanging around with the wrong kids. Julian flew into a rage. He was so ashamed that his boys had become so wild. The boys were punished, but it didn't do any good. When Richard was in the 5th grade, the family realized that he was epileptic. Sometimes he would have grand mal seizures, and other times he would just stare off into space as he experienced petit mal seizures. The doctors told Mercedes that he would grow out of it, and eventually he did. Up to the age of 13, Richard did comparatively well in school with better than average grades. In the 7th grade, things started to go downhill. According to his sister, when Richard was arbitrarily thrown off the football team, his pride was very hurt. Richard had been very proud of being a good quarterback and felt it was very unfair of the coach to drop him from the team because he had an occasional blackout from the epilepsy. Shortly afterward, when he was 12, Richard found a new mentor, one that would heavily influence his behavior. His cousin Mike had been a Green Beret in Vietnam and had returned from 2 tours of duty with 4 medals on his chest. He also brought with him a Polaroid odyssey of rape, torture, and mutilation that had a huge impression on young Richard. This highly successful killer and sadist took Richard under his wing, and that taught him how to kill and fight. Mike's wife Jessie was alarmed at what Mike had become during the war. She didn't need a husband who did nothing but brag about his wartime brutalities and sexual conquests, smoke pot, and hang around with Richard. Disagreements between the two became more and more heated, and one day, in front of Richard, Mike shot his wife in the face. Mike went to trial for the murder, but pled temporary insanity. With his impressive war record, Mike was dealt with leniently and was committed to a mental hospital. Mike's influence on Richard was indelible. His interest in school had vanished, and all the 13-year-old boy cared about was getting high on pot. He went to L.A. to live with the summer with his brother Reuben, who was a heroin addict and a burglar. There was only one objective now: stealing money to get high. When he went back to El Paso, the clashes with his father became more prevalent. Julian was heartbroken to see his youngest son going down the wrong path. Richard saw his father as a tyrant. Both of them, like all the Ramirez men, had terrible, explosive tempers. Eventually, he moved in with his sister Ruth and her husband Roberto. The problem with Roberto was that he was oversexed. Roberto and Richard would entertain themselves at night by going to selected homes in the neighborhood and peeping in the windows at unsuspecting women as they undressed. Richard had always been somewhat hyperactive and required very little rest. "My brother never slept," Ruth said. "He was up all night, all the time. He was one of those people who functioned with only a few hours of sleep." During this period of his life, Richard started taking LSD and other hallucinogenic drugs. At the same time, he started imagining that he was becoming one with Satan. He saw himself as a disciple of Satan. I'm going to pause there because I'm just wondering if anybody that's listening was aware of the fact that he had epilepsy, because I didn't know that. What?
Over 10, 20 minutes less.
I can't see a time on mine. Like I kid. Hello? I'm taking a break for a second. I was deep in that read for a second. Just on a hiatus for a second. Oh, Daniel says, I'll go back in a second and read the rest of the comments, but Daniel says, think the fallout exposure was a factor in his development. If you listen to all of it, all but the sister had issues in some capacity. The oldest one had a ton of physical ailments. And then the two boys after that had a lot of learning disabilities. The sister supposedly seemed fine, but since she wasn't violent, I don't think people looked into her biography very much. Right, exactly. I think the combination of the drugs and his epilepsy and his already prevalent violent temper before any of that came all plays into the fact, and the fact that his cousin was a very strong influence on him, who went to Vietnam and then murdered people and took pictures of it and brought it back and showed him. Yes, it is. Hello, malicious mother, mom, malicious mom. You know when nobody likes it when you call you mother. Nobody likes it when anyone calls them mother. Raise your hand if you prefer someone to call you mother. I'm going to go back in the chat for a second and see if I can see any comments that I missed. Okay, let me see here. Serial killer rapist, so ambitious thought it was sexy. Ew. Would I like candy? I think I've had enough sweets to last me the whole rest of this upcoming year. Laughing Jack. That guy kid, hello. Jessica, hello. If there's anybody that I missed, please go ahead and say something before I go back to the read. Yeah, Kahlest said him saying he was a Satanist is bullshit because Satanists don't kill. Right. Well, the fact is that he wasn't right in the head, as we were reading. The fact that he already had a violent temper, and then I think that whatever is going on with you, and you have a grand mal seizure upon grand mal seizure upon grand mal seizure, and then you take drugs, and then you have a mentor that was a serial killer and a rapist and has Polaroids of it, all have a factor in developing a young mind in a very negative way. So we didn't know what he was talking about. But yeah, Daniel SC, I'll just say good evening and Happy New Year. I'm just listening, that's all. Hello, Daniel. No says, yeah, that was some awful stuff to expose that kid to war crime sickness. Wow, my screen keeps blinking. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, perfect storm scenario, exactly. I have comments for you in messages. Huh? There were shots fired at our mall here today. Senpai noticed me. I'll say hi to everybody. If I didn't say hi to you, please say something in the chat. I'm going to go back to your reading in here just a second. We'll get back to that. Are you in Texas, Mel? Malicious? Where was the other place we saw Mike in the news? There were two places today that had, well, one was at a hotel and the guy had guns in his room, but he didn't have any ammo. And then the one who actually shot people was in Houston. Where was the place with them? There was a hotel.
Houston was a hotel.
Oh, Houston was
where the guy shot.
Colorado was where the shooting was that we saw in the news, and Houston, Texas was the place where the guy was in his hotel room with guns with no ammo, so it didn't make any sense why he was arrested. But hello, Angela. Laughing Jack just made a video. Okay, thank you. So go check out Laughing Jack when you're done here. I'm cool if you come and mention your channel, but don't steal people from the chat, man. Dubco. I did say, oh, okay. I'm sorry. Hi, Dubco. I was reading your comments earlier, though. Sorry. We're cool. Lubbock. Where's Lubbock?
Lubbock, Texas. Buddy Holly.
Texas. Okay. Wow, I did not see that on the news. But, you know, I do try to stay away from the news because of that. And the one time that we were watching the news today, it was all bad stuff. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. You were okay. That's good. We were thankfully at work. Okay, I'm going to go back to the read now, and I will come back and check your comments in a second. I had it highlighted where I stopped. So We stopped off at Ramirez saw himself as a disciple of Satan. But he is how old here? He's 13. 13, he's already had several seizures. 13 or 14, he's already had several seizures. He has already had LSD and pot while being on probably medication for those seizures, and while also being exposed to a sadist, a killer, and a rapist. Okay? He's not even in high school yet. And now he's going in high school. So it says, while he was in high school, he got a job with a hotel and had access to a master key. He began breaking into the rooms while the guests were sleeping so that he could steal their valuables. He was careful enough so that no one connected the occasional thefts with his access to the passkey. He became obsessed with the beautiful women in the hotel. Often he would sneak into the room and hide behind the heavy curtains so that he could watch them undress. He fantasized about sex with these women until his fantasies erupted into an assault. Keeping in mind, he is 15 at this point. Not that the age just makes it, I don't know if it makes it worse. He went into the woman's room, surprised her from behind, tied her up, and proceeded to rape her when her husband came into the room and knocked Richard to the ground. He gave Richard a well-deserved beating and turned him over to the police. Richard's parents were in denial. There was no way that their baby Richie could have assaulted that woman. Richard convinced his family that the woman had lured him to have sex, and her husband simply came back unexpectedly. Richard was only 15, and the judge was lenient. He got away without any probation. Even his parents believed his story. Cousin Mike got out of the mental hospital at the end of 1977 and started hanging around with Richard again. By that time, Richard had become a very effective burglar and thief. From his cousin, he learned survival tactics and how to be tough. Aside from his cousin, he saw himself as a loner in a hostile, unfair world. Oh, excuse me. When Richard turned 18 in 1978, did that? Okay, I thought it jumped a little bit. Sorry there. When Richard turned 18 in 1978, he left his home in El Paso and headed for Los Angeles. His only interests were drugs, sexual fantasies, and the heavy metal music, which he listened to continuously. Now, before I read forward, before anyone's going to say anything, I don't think that music makes you a killer, just like I don't think that seizures make you a killer. I think it's just all another element of where his mentality was going into it. I think that anything can make you worse depending on where you're at. It could have been anything that added to this, but for some reason they added in the fact that he listened to heavy metal music and used it as like a stepping stone. So I'm just going to read what they wrote. Just know that I don't personally believe that a music choice can make you a worse person. So here it goes. They said heavy metal music, which he listened to continuously. It's quoted as saying, he was drawn to musical groups whose rhythms were hard driving, whose lyrics had something to do with his innermost thoughts on religion and sex. He no longer believed in the Catholic Church. Intense, sadistic sexual images filled Richard's head. For such thoughts, Jesus Christ, he knew, would scorn him and make sure he went to hell and stayed there forever. Unlike Jesus, Satan would not scorn him, but embrace him and give him solace, protection, and understanding. End quote. I don't know. Moving on. Once in Los Angeles, Richard initially stayed with his brother Reuben until the two of them had a falling out over Reuben's wife. Richard became a cocaine addict and supported himself by burglary. When he was stealing to support his habit, he sat around fantasizing about sadistic sexual relationships. Normal relationships with women. The only sex he had was with prostitutes. Eventually, Richard started substituting PCP or angel dust for cocaine. It did nothing but deepen his aggressive and psychotic episodes. One day, he vented his aggression on another addict. He tied her up, ripped off her clothes, and raped her several times, thrilled by his power over her. It was a profound moment in his fantasy life, and he hungered for more. At this time, Richard started reading about Anton LaVey, the founder of the Church of Satan in San Francisco. He felt compelled to join their rituals, but eventually shunned the organized cult and preferred to be what he termed a lone practitioner. This belief in Satan was not just a whimsy, but a deep-seated belief in the power of Lucifer to protect and empower his disciples. He tried to explain it to his sister when she visited him in LA and was alarmed at the changes in him. She wanted to know why, and he said, because Satan represents what I feel. I'm not like other people. I'm different. I've got a trade. I'm a thief, Ruth, and a good one. I'm not going to any jail. I'm protected. At the end of August, Richard was buying some coffee at a liquor store. He became aware of a couple elderly Mexican women pointing at him. El Matador, he heard one say, the killer. Then he saw his face in the newspaper and ran out of the store. See, now they skipped over the fact that he was even in the news at this time. So when I was finding this, there was stuff, the timelines of this didn't really work out when I was trying to do the research on it. So it was kind of difficult to do this any justice. Let's see. I'm going to go back in the chat. I'm taking another break here because sometimes this is why it's harder to make a video on these. So you're hearing commentary I say to myself all the time when there's no one here to listen to me. Let me see. Let me go up here. Creep files. Hey. Okay. Daughter lives in, Kitty Baby said, my daughter lives in Galveston. Angela says that's where my guy drove his truck through a diner years ago to Lubbock. Militia says no one died, kids just acting up. Kitty Baby says mom is so happy you and yours are fine. Scary. Creep files below. Brian Morrow. Hey, creep. Angela says, hey, creep. Elise says a friend was working her night security job and doing her rounds as she heard some people talking loudly on a balcony across the street. She looked up, saw a spark, and watched a woman burn to death. What? That's insane. Okay, people saying hi to Creep Files. Love that song, by the way. What a mistake to not treat him. I know. That's terrible, isn't it? Ramirez was even married in prison. Yeah. There's literally, when I was looking up stuff on him, I could have done a 3-hour video on Ramirez. And the thing is degrade the amount of people that he killed because he was charged with 19 death sentences. But I mean, there's so much information on him and it's all scattered. It's not even in order. That would take me several days to put it in order. So I might have to do like a part 2 on him. I don't know. But I'm working on some other stuff too. But I really wanted to cover him because somebody requested him and I cannot remember. I feel so bad. Who requested Ramirez? The brain damage from the seizures is definitely a factor, Angela. And the fact that he did drugs on top of it and then had a horrible mentor. It was just a spiral that just got deeper and darker. Yeah, it didn't really specify bands, what he listened to, and AC/DC isn't even that heavy. Ramirez slipped through the cracks. So what if you listen to classical music all the time? I know. They just like to point out the fact that he listened to dark music as a factor. They try to make it as a, you know, if he would have been like a current time killer and he played like World of Warcraft, or he played what's a video game everybody plays? What's that game, that war game everyone plays? Xbox. What's that one that Cameron wanted? You guys don't know. Call of Duty. Like they would have used that as a factor. Daniel says it was 80s, heavy metal, and satanic panic were synonymous. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I know. That just made that go up too high. Okay, Antonio says the founder of the Church of Satan eventually became disillusioned with his new religion and abandoned it and founded the Temple of the Set, religion dedicated to the evil Egyptian god Set. Nono says, okay, now I must be pissed. He slipped through the cracks. He was messed up and people saw it and did nothing. You know what's the worst? I'm going to stop right there because if you go back and listen to my whole serial killer Saturday, almost all of them could have been prevented from being as bad as they got. If they would have just been stopped the first time that they did something, so many people would be alive. The factor about Ramirez that did surprise me was that I thought in previous things I had heard that he had been molested by his cousin, or that he had been sodomized by his cousin, but I couldn't find any evidence of that in this research. And I thought that was a factor too, because almost all of the serial killers had in some form been molested or sexually violated, which contributed to their spiral. Speak from experience, people like him are sick and no one wants to admit it. Yeah, I know. But if people helped people that were sick, you would help everyone, including the person that's sick. So I don't understand the denial phase there. Horror Realm says, now there are some cult blood cults that cults, taking human sacrifice in their Satanista cults, and do not some believe Satan gave man knowledge before God want them. Okay, I don't understand that. Okay, I went too far up. Paul Kate says, gotta get going to a party. Thank you for coming, Paul. Happy New Year. Horror Realm says nefarious reasons like the cults. The cults in South America and some in Mexico are horde. Yes, they are. There's another one of my, if I go back on here, on my, what's the other one that I just did not too long ago? I did a double feature that's got Carl Panzram and Adolfo Constanzo. That's a very famous cult serial killer. That one is, let me see if I can post the link to that. I'm going to copy link address. And you can watch that at your leisure if you want to save it. That's got cult killings in it. Plus Panzram was crazy, but I think that he was hyped up. Kahlest says, yeah, that happened a couple of weeks ago in Reno. Slum building. Landlord turned off heat in building, so someone had set up a propane heater inside and exploded. 5 people died. Oh, God. That's just terrible. Jessica says, 'twas me. Duchess. File said, Kahlest said, by the way, the Egyptian god Set was not evil. Set was the judge of souls, similar to St. Peter, who guards the gates to heaven. Set measured the soul of the dead against a feather to see if you are worthy. I love theology. That is one thing that I would, mythology, theology, those are things that I would like to explore more on the channel a lot. Yes. Sandra says, my husband's friend was Gil Carrillo, who dealt with Ramirez in jail. Woo! Whoa. Kitty Baby says, be careful, Paul. Happy New Year. Kitty Baby says, Sandra, how scary is that? Yeah, no kidding. Wasn't that Anubis? Oh, we're getting all into some theories here. Thanks, Kitty. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's. Oh, that's not it. That's not an S. I need new glasses. You know, Kitty, what a job. No, Anubis is the god of embalming. What a god to be of embalming. That's a task. Which actually was probably an honored thing because the way Egyptians were entombed. But I don't know very much about Egyptian culture, so I'm not going to even attempt to know anything about that. I would like to explore that more. And I would also like to do a series on the different religions of the world because there's a lot of dark practices, you know, in the name of religion. So I think that would really fit in with the channel. And I'm going to go back to the reading now. because you know I saw a squirrel and I had to stop. So let's see. Ramirez tried to pull a woman out of her car, but was stopped by Carmelo Robles and Arthur Benavides. Richard jumped the fence, landed in the backyard of Louis Munoz, who was grilling meat. Louis hit Richard, and Richard went over the fence again, this time into the yard of Faustino Pinon, whose daughter's car was sitting in the driveway with the engine running. He says, "Get away, I'm taking the car, I have a gun and I'll kill you." Faustino grabbed Richard by the neck and said, "You're not taking this car," grabbed the wheel of the car and steered it in the chimney. Richard ran off and tried to take the car of Angela Delactour, whose car was parked in front of her home. She saw him running at her and recognized him from the newspapers. Again, there's a whole chunk of how it got to that point. I'll try to catch up. Apparently, he committed a bunch of crimes. They fast forwarded through the story and got me to here. Yeah, so I'm sorry about that. This is just me. This must be just before he got arrested as an adult. When she refused to give him her keys, he punched her in the stomach. "El Matador," she screamed. Her husband, Manuel, heard her screams and understood immediately what was happening. He picked up a metal bar from his front gate, opened the door to the car, and whacked Richard on the head. Richard escaped from the car, ran up the street with Manuel and others chasing him. Manuel struck out at Richard again and missed. But the next time, he was dead on and Richard went down. They held him there until the sheriff's deputies and LAPD arrived. The Night Stalker had been captured by the Mexican community. Later, when they put him in jail, Richard said to Sergeant George Thomas, "I want the electric chair. They should have shot me on the street. I did it. You know I did it. You guys got me, the Night Stalker. Hey, let me have a gun to play Russian roulette. I'd rather die than spend the rest of my life in prison." Whew. Salerno and Carrillo were exceptionally relieved to have Richard in custody, but then another break came their way. Richard's leather bag had been found at the bus terminal. Inside were the special .25 caliber shells that he had used on several of his victims. There's a whole section there about what he did to victims that I missed out on, and so did you guys, so maybe I can try and find it on this thing. Let's see. It says, on March 17th, 1985, Richard Ramirez attacked 22-year-old Maria Hernandez outside her home. He shot her before entering her house. Inside was Dale Okazaki, age 34, who Ramirez immediately shot and killed. Hernandez survived. The bullet had ricocheted off the keys she held in her hands as she lifted them to protect herself. Within an hour of killing Okazaki, Ramirez struck again in Monterey Park. He jumped 30-year-old Sailin Yu, and I'm really sorry if I said that wrong, and pulled her out of her car onto the road. He shot her several times and fled. A policeman found her still breathing, but she died before the ambulance arrived. The two attacks occurring on the same day bolstered media attention and, in turn, caused panic and fear among the public. The news media dubbed the attacker, who was described as having long curly hair, bulging eyes, and wide-spaced rotting teeth, the walk-in killer and the Valley Intruder. Okay. Which, again, I feel like they're skipping a lot by saying that. So I'm trying to find a spot where it sort of isolates his criminal career, but it really doesn't. I mean, if I've read everything that I found on Ramirez, we would be here for about 5 hours. Yeah. Madam Raven, family, not team, stupid tablet. You have another story? You want another story? I'm not even done with Ramirez yet. Russian roulette's too good for him. Well, he wasn't on the right. Anyway. Police said that would be great. Yeah, I would really love to get into more theology on the channel. Sandra says, to get Ramirez to talk, him and Gil watched videos and ate lunch. Wow. Jessica says, that'd be cool series to do. Do you mean theology? Like the different religions and stuff? not just the different religions, but also like different gods, things like that. I think I'm really interested in that, so I thought I would see if you guys are interested. I'll try one out and see what the response is. Kahlest throws shiny crinkle balls into the chat room to distract Joseph. Squirrel. No, actually, the method of how his criminal. I wish maybe I'll have to do it when I do criminals in the future. I'll have to create a timeline video for myself and for you guys as we're watching it, because it can get really confusing if it's not a very clear cut, if it's not recorded in a very clear cut way. And what I'm seeing, what I'm reading, it's not. It's all over the place. It jumps right to the trial, which is in itself several pages long. Wow. When the gross part is somebody said they were like, people were fascinated with him because they thought he was sexy, and that's gross. Like, I don't know what goes through people's head. There were a few quotes. I had saved something. Okay, right when he was receiving his conviction to 19 death sentences, Ramirez said, "Big deal. Death comes with the territory. See you in Disneyland. You maggots make me sick. I will be avenged. Lucifer dwells within us all." And I had most of this written out so that I could read it for you and record it, make a video today, but the whole weekend escaped me. So, the crazy part about is when it's someone who is clearly a madman, and, we get quotes of their ramblings. There's always a pinch, even if it's just a crumb of truth to what they're saying, is that darkness does live within everybody, but you choose left or right or up or down or good or bad. You make that choice. But can someone who has had multiple seizures, drug abuse, horrible influences, and who didn't start out with the best life circumstances, are they still in the right frame of mind to ever grasp at the right choice? And I think that's something that society as a whole, if we could just help people in the early stages of when we see them going down the wrong path, could help ourselves in the process. I don't know. I hope as you cling to what's right and the new year comes, I hope that you see good things for yourself. But as we all know, we love this dark stuff, don't we? I love the dark stuff. It makes me appreciate the good things a lot more. Let's see. Madam Raven says, my team is watching Gravity, which is a step for me to watch. So hi, people. Kitty Baby says, can we have another story? I can find you one. Heck yeah. Oh, your family is watching Gravity. Oh, okay, I got you. You should be so lucky. Nono says. Sander says, hi, madam. Nono says he wants freedom from suffering. Gravity equals greatness. I have not watched that movie yet. Kitty Baby, madam, mine's crazy too. Text talk is, oh, this chat just jumped forward. Oh. He died of cancer. Yeah, I was surprised. I thought he got the death sentence, but no, of course not. They just fed him and housed him for years. That's the grossest part of all to me, but that's, anyway. He was known to have bad teeth. Yes, theology. Okay, yes, thank you. Yes, anytime. I want to know what you guys want to see from me in 2018, so I'd love for you to, if you're watching this back, please leave it in the comments. And if you're in the chat right now, let me know. I want to know what you guys want to hear from me. I want to try and do like another shorter video in the week because I feel like Saturday really robs you guys. And the funny thing is all my audiobooks that I was going to do are done. But I just got contacted by the guy that writes Star Force, which is the massive first project I did. And now I'm sitting here going, I don't know if I can get it done. I would have to get up really early and read like a chapter every morning for the next 2 months to finish it. Jessica says, apparently Ramirez's teeth were so bad because he frequently drank an insane amount of soda. Yeah, usually people that are, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but usually if someone's severely addicted to something and they're trying to break the habit, sugar is the next thing. Exactly, Duchess. Okay. I'm back too far in the chat to know what you're talking about, Random Raven, when you said exactly, so I'm sorry. Hopefully I'll figure out what the heck I said. Brian Morrow, he would be avenged. What an asshole. Yeah, exactly. Sandra says he was a pimple on the ass of humanity. Indeed. Well said. Kitty Baby Cancer, Duchess or Ore. Jackal had a god of embalming. Interesting, yes. Yes, it is. I think Egyptian history is fascinating. Anubis. Dark stuff. I'm working to let go of sick fucks like Ramirez. Yeah. More of same. Hello, madam. Raven, happy 2018. Subscribe to Kahlest. Hi, Antonio. Sandra says, do Manson. Manson, you know, Manson didn't kill anyone. You guys are aware of that, right? He's why I haven't covered him. He should have been, and he should have never been in prison. Where he should have been was for the criminally insane. But we don't have places like that anymore. So what do? Put him in a prison so we can influence prisoners. I don't even understand the mentality of that. It's insane. Brian says, I have another story for you if you'd like. Yes, please send it, Brian. If anybody sends stories, please let me know because sometimes they go to spam. And I try to search in spam, and man, that's a weird mix of crap and spam. If you ever look at your spam folders, just if you do send me anything, let me know, like, on any comment on here because my notifications pop up. And I check them as often as I get them. Good old Dee Dee, that's true. Good old sugar. Yeah. Angela says, I like the idea of religions and gods as a subject. You doing a series on theology, etc. would be awesome, Duchess. As long as I'm entertaining you guys. But I also do like to do things that I enjoy reading. If I can't enjoy it and people don't enjoy it, kind of kills it, you know. Help me. No says you could help me by helping me to fantasize about killing him rather than doing it. Okay. Angela says it's rumored he killed. Who killed? It's rumored. It's not proven anywhere. I don't do stories on people that I don't have solid evidence on that they killed people. There's another one called Vera Renzi. You can look her up. And when I tried to find any solid evidence on her, it's believed that she was what's the word? Not a myth, but that some people believe that she wasn't even real. It happened so long ago, I have no record of her, which is crazy because some of the ladies that I've covered were from like, a really long time ago. One of my favorite serial killers I covered was, let me see here. I had a lot of fun doing the video. Daria Saltikova was also known as Saltichika. That was one of my favorite ones because if you go to the end of the video, they had put her in a prison cell with a window and she somehow got a stick. And so when people would go by her little prison cell, she would poke them with a stick and spit at them. I'm like, who does that? Green River Killer. His wife didn't know. Isn't that the BTK killer? Is that the same person? The Green River Killer? Michael? Is that the same person? It's not? I don't know. I'll find out when I look it up. They got Manson on one murder, if I remember correctly. Yeah, but they didn't. They didn't. Yeah, and that's another reason too. Yeah. Yeah, there's no evidence that he actually. Clifford Olson did kill 11 kids. Clifford Olson. Ooh. Okay, hold on. I keep skipping past. Horror Realm says, I do believe in the nature versus nurture theory, but the equation is much more sporadic than there's too many extraneous variables in the one that lives. Said he would or would not have become a. Who are you talking about, Horror Realm? Serial killer to do his home life. I don't understand the commentary is breaking up. Daniel says, what about human survival stories like the Donner Party? Again, that's been covered a lot. If I could find something that's not done. But, oh, hey, Schmeister. 4 a.m. So you're in the UK then somewhere. That's all I know about that timeline is it's 5 hours ahead of ours. That's all I got. Oh, man. Daniel Gonzalez says cryptids will be great too. Yeah, if I can make them sound interesting. I did one SPC, and I did a few Skinwalker ones. I love the Skinwalker ones. Man, I love those. That's understandable, Duchess. Yeah. If you have any suggestions ever, please, you can get a hold of me on any of my social media, or you can leave me a message in any of the comments. Or you can even message me on here. I think if you go to my main channel page, there's a button that says message. You can message me there too if you have any suggestions or requests or anything like that. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I coughed right into my microphone. I'm so sorry. It's really dry in here because it's so cold outside. And so the heat just keeps cranking. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Some people are born predators. Very few people are born predators. Very few people are born predators. Probably the most hardcore person that I have ever done is the Enriqueta Marti. I left a link for her in the chat. She was one of the ones that I just could not get any history on her, and I could not figure out why she was. She was just a cold-hearted killer from the start. Like, she, I believe, was born to kill. I couldn't find any extraneous factors that would have contributed to her desire to kill. It was just pure money-motivated, sadistic murder. Logan says, I appreciate every video you do, to be honest. Oh, thank you. I don't know what's her name. Kitty Baby says, I like Civil War stuff. Oh, shoot. It just went down too far. Civil War stuff, Egyptian history, British history. Yes. No, BTK and Green River Killer are different. Okay. Kitty Baby says, no, by the way, from Wichita, Green Rivers. Oh, shit. I forgot. Sandra, the subject of cryptids is fascinating. And do you believe? I believe that there's so much that we don't know about the own world that we live in. We explore space and we wait for aliens, but there's so much. If we believe in aliens and God and all that stuff, why wouldn't there be something weird about the woods? Something crawling around in the woods that we don't know about. We know more about outer space than we do about our own oceans on our own planet. So I don't think there's any room to discount anything. I just think there's just still too much to learn about everything. Kahlest says, Canadian serial killer Clifford Olson killed his kids in BC and died in prison in 2011, kept trying to get sent to a lower security prison by promising to reveal location of more victims. Green River was Washington State. Okay, thank you. Dogmen too. Yeah, I'd like to cover some of those. I just don't want to cover what other narrators have already done. And I think Swamp Dweller has done all of them. I think he might have done all of them. Antonio says, the detective who led the charge to catch the Green River Killer got a pseudo profile on him by Ted Bundy. Bundy referred to the Green River Killer, Gary Ridgway, as the Riverman. See, that's why I got confusing. Thank you. Horror Room says, can you do something on Amanda Knox? I think she's innocent. What do you guys think? I think that it sucks that she got an innocent verdict and then she had to go back to trial. And what's the verdict now? Wasn't she found guilty when she went back? Which I think is crazy. Schmeister said, just came back. Oh my gosh, my chat keeps going forward too far. Okay. Just came back from a New Year's Eve party after downing a 2-liter of brandy. I thought I'd show up to a stream before I pass out. The full moon gives me strength. Schmeister, aka the dog man in person. Thank you. I like to do some parody things of like, you know how if, let's say, if a cryptid or a god were present and you interviewed them, I don't know. I like dark comedy too, so I thought that would be funny. Nurse Angel of Death, you know, I seriously stay away from them. Any of them. I don't know, there's something about people that just give someone a shot in the arm and walk away. Like, it's clearly wrong, obviously. But there's a different element to someone that looks someone in the eye and stabs them or does horrible things to them while they're looking them in the eye, and then someone who gives someone a shot in their IV and walks away. They're all messed up. But I really have shied away from them because I don't find them interesting myself. That's just me. But maybe if you guys do, I will. If you guys are requesting it, then I'll definitely look into it. Daniel says, Senkabetsu brown bear incident, nothing paranormal about it, just nature being scary. Angela says, yes, I just read today The Werewolf of a Town in Italy. I was looking up the Ypsilanti killer since we are from the same area. Shoot, my chat keeps going way forward. Okay, same area. I guess that's a killer that was before there was a formula for how to track serial killers. You can go back right now with cold cases and track them. But we'll see if they actually do it. Sandra, I love those. Well, maybe I'll have to do one then. Brian says, on December 13th, 1971, Manson was convicted of first-degree murder in Los Angeles County Court for the July 25th, 1969 death. Okay, he was convicted of the death. Did he actually kill him, or did they just do that? I want to read more about that. He was also convicted of first-degree murder for the August 1969 death of Donald Jerome Shorty Shea. That's the first time I've ever heard that, Brian. Or read that. Schmeister, if we're taking about people dying under strange circumstances, you could talk about weird curses. Case in point, pyramid curses, cursed mummies, Otik, the Iceman, etc. That's cool. That would be really cool. Yeah. I haven't seen too many Canadian serial killers. That's why I suggest them. I think you're the one that suggested... Where is he? Really? That guy grossed me out too. Probably the most disturbing... Oh, no, they're all disturbing. The most far-reaching was the one I believe you suggested, Robert Pickton. He was the one who took his victims to that processing facility. And the processing facility, any of their byproducts went into chemicals all over the world. So literally, like the genetic material from his victims, it could be in anyone's products in their homes all over the world right now. And there's no way to trace it. Gross. Says, darn it. Let me go back. Brian, that's what I have read. Daniel says, 2 looters. Are you a giant? Huh. Kitty Baby says, British history is good. Sanders says, nurses, angels of death stories, please. I'll try. Schmeister says, if I'm going to be a cryptid, I prefer the ass wang. A swang. I said ass wang. The Filipino skinwalker. I can't wait to see what else the Schmeister says if you're all that brandy. Should be interesting. Angela says, I'm a nurse. I hate the nurses of death. Yes, Duchess. Man, I wish I knew what I was saying to know why you said yes, Duchess, kitty baby. Logan says, Jeff the Killer is a fun story. I won't do Jeff the Killer because everybody that does creepypastas, I think, has read him. Actually, I did a part for Jeff the Killer. I played the mom on, man, I can't remember the channel now. It's been so long. If I can find the link to it, I'll post it in the comments. Nah, Daniel, just pretty hammered. Yeah. Sandra says, Keith Jefferson, the Canadian happy face killer. Daniel says, I'll look that up. Thanks, Sandra. Antonio says, scientists say psychopaths have a physical disability due to being psychopaths. They have a poor sense of smell. Police says, yes. Oh, and into sausages. Oh, and meat. Look great. Police says there was a meat recall, but a lot of people had eaten them already. Nice. Damn Gypsy Danny says, hi, hey, Happy New Year. Schmeischer says, a swung. Basically a vampire, a witch, a skinwalker combined into one creature. That sounds cool. I should be writing this stuff down. I don't even have a pen in here with me. Damn it. Daniel says, Antonio, that's interesting. I wonder what the frontal lobe looks like in a psychopath, just like everyone else. Maybe that'll be in one of my Mysteries of the Mind series, because I want to. I went back and noticed that one of my Mysteries of the Mind I did like almost a year ago now has like 1,000 views, and I really thought that no one had watched them, and I really enjoyed them because I learned a lot while I was doing those videos. But I wasn't sure if anybody else was really liking them, so I didn't want to invest. That takes a lot of time. You really have to have a lot of medical backup, solid medical articles to make a video like that, or you might be giving a lot of misinformation out to people. But I would like to, maybe I can tie in serial killers and Mysteries of the Mind and make see if there's any theories on the brain and what if people have done brain scans of serial killers just to see if there's a pattern. That's a good idea. Let's see, Antonio, why I don't post, LOL. Not yet, at least. Kitty Baby says, that was Kahlest that said that. Kitty Baby says that nurses that kill are just too. Brian says, hello, Danny. Schmeischer says, I'll leave facts in the comments when I wake up about the swang if you're interested. Yes, please do that. Police said, I love those mind ones. You did? Oh, thank you. Me too. Mystery of the Mind was super cool. I hope you. Yeah, actually, Jessica, I think you're the one that made a comment the other day, and I went back and noticed it had 1,000 views. I was like, oh, I guess people were watching it. Yuri, Asian Ghosts. Yeah, any suggestions, please leave them in the comments because I don't have a pen and I don't want to forget what you guys are suggesting to me. Logan says Jersey Devil. That's crazy. There was some, I don't know if it was like Paranormal State or Ghost Adventures tried to get video evidence of the Jersey Devil. They didn't get anything, but of course they're like, oh, did you see that? Did you see that? While they move the camera all around. Like if they could literally have just like one of those groups sit silent with the camera and not move it around, I want to watch that show where they don't freak out and scream, dude, did you hear that, dude? Like you're supposed to be fearless ghost adventurer people. Why are you freaking out every time you hear a noise? Annie says, I think I need to change my name to something shorter. Nah, don't change your name. If I have any suggestions, if you want to start a YouTube channel, think very hard about what you want your channel name and logo to be, and don't change it. Because do you know how many times some of these smaller channels have changed their name and then they can't figure out why people aren't? Because I can't follow someone if I don't recognize their name or their logo. At least keep one of them the same. It's hard to follow someone if you don't know that they posted because they changed their name and their logo. So if you're really small, if you're a really small channel, then change it now and then just keep it that way. So really think about what you want it to be. Make it something that's unforgettable, like really unforgettable. and just stick with it. No regrets. No regrets. No regrets. DGD. Are you down with the DGD? Dubco, agreed, that's so annoying. Well, it's annoying when I like a channel and then they change their name and then I don't know that they posted anything because they changed their name. So I don't know. Okay, it was Paranormal State Sandra that did the Jersey. I really liked that show and I was super disappointed when it ended, and then to hear all that stuff about Ryan Buell. I was really upset about that. I was a hardcore OG fan with that show. Big time. Jessica says, I've been watching your video. I've been binge watching. Duh. I'm losing my ability to speak now. Watching your videos. I love your channel, dude. Are you talking about Damn Gypsy Danny? I'm going to have to go find Damn Gypsy Danny. I'll go back and look for that. I'm pretty sure I'm already subscribed to it. Okay, now I can't. Is it one? It must be caps or something that I'm not seeing, or I spelt it wrong or something. Hold on, I gotta look back. I wish it would just let me go to the link from here. I think I spelled it wrong, that's why. Definitely don't change your name, damn Gypsy. Don't change it. Is this it? This is it. I found you. What-cha-cha? What-cha-cha? Oh, yours is inappropriate for viewers, it says. Okay. Kita Baby says, or the channel just disappears. Right. Which I've said, like, if my channel just disappears, it's because YouTube took it down. That'd be the only way mine'd be gone. You don't know how the immense pleasure I get of creating a video for you. It's like an outlet for me mentally. I had like 3 nightmares this week because I didn't make a video. I'm not kidding you. They were weird. One of them, which shouldn't even been a nightmare, was that I was in a sales competition. You're going to love this one. I was in a sales competition for who could make the best flower rosettes out of frosting. And it was like people were crying and like upset. That was the weirdest, most stressed out dream. And didn't make any sense. Hey, Phantom of Darkness, what's up? Are you freezing your butt off too? Logan says, I used to be a big fan of Ghost Hunters. Me too, and then I don't know, they just got boring. Hey. Antonio says, we'll definitely binge watch your videos after the stream. Yeah. Thanks. Family says, I'm actually pretty warm. It's warm in here, but I don't know if you had to go out at all. Does Detroit have a big New Year's Eve thing? I've always wanted to go to like one of our bigger towns in Michigan for New Year's Eve, but I don't think there's anything here. I'm way behind on everybody's stuff. Phantom. What? Phantom, get out of here. Phantom, I just read that you said that you worked the last 12 days in a row. So I don't know how to reject this. How do I reject your money? I don't know. Thank you. Please, can I pin this up here? Will it let me pin it? Pin. It doesn't let me pin it, but it's up there. So if you haven't watched Phantom of Darkness, go watch him. He goes out of his way to make sure he doesn't get anything from Reddit. Making videos is addictive and fulfilling. Yes, it is. What's the nightmare I had last night? Remember I told you it was the dumbest nightmare? Oh, it was a stupid nightmare. Phantom, you rock, making videos is addictive. At Kahlest. You do that all the time? Wait, I'm missing what you do all the time. I'm way behind on watching other narrators' stuff. I said that Phantom reminds me of Darkness Prevails. The same voice. I think you guys are doppelgangers of each other. Your voices. You have a little bit of a different cadence. What do you, I guess you don't want to tell the whole world what you do, so never mind. You do a mystery job. We'll leave it at that. Antonio says, very proud to be subscribers of your Madam Raven, Phantom of Darkness. Subscribed. Yeah. I'm glad I got on here to read for you guys. I was panicking. Like, the evening was getting away from me. I'm like, how am I going to make a video? It'll never be up in time. So I'm glad I got in here to read for you guys. I did find some other stuff to read for you. Police says, yeah, I know when I listen to Phantom, I always get something I haven't heard before, and then I laugh my ass off at the end. You work at a vet clinic? That's a lot. And to be kind, because you have to, because animals are like little angels. They can't tell us what's wrong with them. So I think it takes special people to work with animals. Brian says, check out Himari Mary, new YouTube channel like ARG, but not a game. It's an ongoing story. It's cool. Huh. Sandra says, I had a dream that I worked at the biggest Chinese train station. Exhausting. Oh. Man, I wish I could remember my dream last night because it was so stupid. And I remember telling my husband, what a stupid thing to be stressed out about. Like, my nightmare. Phantom says, thanks, Kahlest. Damn Juicy Danny says, has anyone checked out D Dust? I believe that's her name. She's cool. Logan says, once I had a nightmare, I was being hunted by a group of small people. Yikes, that is scary. Antonio says, I actually had to pull all of my favorite horror YouTubes on a list so I could remember them and keep track of them. Well, usually if you just subscribe, there's a list. But, you know, every time I see anything I like on YouTube, I hit subscribe, and then the list gets too big, and then I just like, tomorrow I'm not leaving this house. I'm going to stay in my pajamas all day. That's what I say. And I'm going to just binge watch things I'm way behind on. I'm going to try to anyway. Squirrel. Madam Raven says, I really appreciate that, Antonio. WDD last night. I'm glad I'm here. Oh, thank you, Sandra. I sub Madam Raven. Yes, check out Madam Raven as well. Oh, what am I on here? I accidentally went to Damn Gypsy Danny. Oh, that's your playlist for something else. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. And then I wanted to check out while I'm on here. Madam Raven, that's right. Madam Raven. Which I think I'm already subscribed to Madam Raven. No, I'm not, but I am now. So check them out. I want a whole thing that's nothing but horror. I think that YouTube is trying to weed out horror. I know that a lot of horror people are hanging in there, but I really am trying. And I said I'll try all year to raise enough funds to create a platform, a legit, very full functioning platform for horror. It requires a web designer and a web developer. They're two different things. So if anybody knows anyone that does that, by all means, please send them my way. Phantom says, you know what's funny about your Darkness Prevails comparison? People always give me either Darkness Prevails or Let's Read. So it's like some kind of strange morph between them. Smeister says, squirrel, 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 gotta throw up. Okay. Horror 2 will be awesome. I hope so. I don't know if I agree with that, but weird. No, but your voice has a familiarity with it. I think that's what they're saying. And so I think it's helpful. Antonio, I love horror content too. Thanks, Duchess. Yeah. I love horror. I love people that try to create horror. I'm a horror addict. And I feel like there's a movie out. Have you watched the movie Get Out? I tried to rent it yesterday, but you have to buy it. That's the only way to watch it. So now I'm on a quest to probably have to order it so I don't have to pay $10.99 to watch it for a day. Or no, I guess you have to buy it so you would own it. But I wanted to watch Get Out because it looks like a deep psychological thriller, which that's really my more. I'm not into gore. Like, to each his own. If you're into gore, that's fine, but I'm not really into gore. Kahlest says, sub Madam Raven. No says, does squirrel mean like the cartoon dog squirrel? No, it means squirrel because I get distracted earlier. That's why my husband was in here so he could read the comments. But I had coffee in the evening today so I could stay awake for midnight because I was really tired this morning and I thought I was going to fall asleep. So I had coffee. And most people that know me know that during conversations, I will take a left turn, a sharp left turn that has nothing to do with what I started with, and start talking about something else, and that'll lead to something else, into something else. And so people say squirrel because it means I got distracted again, like a shiny little squirrel. Gypsy Danny says, I don't like when readers just read off Reddit. Yeah, I don't touch Reddit at all. I don't mess with it. There's been times I accidentally found mini creepypastas that were created by Reddit users. But, God, it wasn't on purpose. Phantom of Darkness. Oh, yeah, it's not an insult. I mean, if they said I sounded like Urkel, that's another story. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking about me. I came to see you. Happy old year. Yeah. That 2017, I started off the stream saying can kiss my ass. The year ended up benefiting everyone in my family at the end in a good way. But most of 2017 was a shit show, and I'm really just happy to wave it goodbye and really start 2018 out great. So I'm looking forward to it. We started out asking people if anybody had any, and I don't want to say resolutions. I think that resolutions I think it gives you a different mindset than a goal for the year. I set goals for myself. Like, what were my goals last year? I wanted a stronger, healthier family. I wanted to make a website, which I did, but it sucked. I did that just for my narrations, but it's not really necessary when you do. Anyway, I did that. It sucked. I wanted to walk my 2 insanely strong, hyper dogs by myself, which I learned is something that I can do, but it is something that is not a good idea, and it's not safe for me because if my dog sees an actual squirrel, they've almost broken my wrist more than one time because they're so strong. Like, I'll try to post a picture of them if anyone's been on my Instagram or my Snapchat. You probably see my dogs before, but my dogs look like they have like pecs and they're just strong dogs. So I learned that I can walk my dogs, but I shouldn't. But those are just little things that I have. But let's see. Sandra says, Antonio, you're my first sub. I haven't posted yet. Sandra, do you have a channel? Kitty Baby says, I don't like Reddit either. Actually, there's a few things I found from Reddit last year when I started that were my favorite things. There's something wrong with my boyfriend or something weird about my boyfriend. I found that author, Joe Truck, the Trucker series. I found him on Reddit. And then Nick Boddick, who did Agoraphobia and Blackouts. I found him on there. And he grew. Like, I did 2 series of his. And he gave me permission to narrate anything that he had. And then Mr. Creepypasta got him, and now he's like a published author, so he like skyrocketed. And then the lady that did the Weird Boyfriend series, if anybody hasn't watched that, it's like way back in the beginning, like last year. That lady was going to do like 7 or 8 parts of the Weird Boyfriend series, and she was actually finishing up her doctorate. And she had to end it on 6. So I tried to make part 6 as weird as I could to show the abruptness and the severity of the different change in the character. So if you don't know that story, you might want to go listen to it to know what I'm talking about. But okay. So let's see. I will get a t-shirt of yours, Phantom Darkness. Jessica said, like Derek Zoolander, I can't turn left. Phantom says you wanted to move out of Michigan. Who said that? What? I'm lost. I want a shirt too. Haha, it's all up to you, Antonio. Go for it. Antonio says, your whole logo makes a t-shirt cool, Phantom of Darkness. Danny says, I'm at a party. I got a notification about the live stream. Told my sister, oh my God, I need headphones for my favorite YouTuber is live. What? Come on, girl. Or guy. Damn, Gypsy Danny, are you girl or guy? It's not very, I don't know, so I don't want to assume. Or what should I address you as, I should say. Sandra says, my last resolution was to lose weight. And this year on April 14th, I had a heart attack and lost 50 pounds. Oh, so you kind of met your goal, but in a terrifying way. Sorry to hear that. And yes, you have a channel. Okay, I'm going to check it out, Sandra. Antonio, have you heard of Shinigami Assassin Sandra? He's another horror YouTuber. Angela. Oh, Sandra, I know. I keep hearing more and more younger people that happening to. Madam Raven says, my goal last year was to keep to a schedule with my videos, and I did. Vanderm says, Wern. Quitting in October. I'm glad you didn't. Yeah, I was, because there was just so much drama happening, and I was very sick of the drama and YouTube. So I demonetized all my videos myself. I took all the ads off myself and created a Patreon, and currently raising money so that I can get a web developer and a web designer to actually create a platform. It's going to be quite an undertaking because you can't just make a platform on Wix.com. You can make a website, but you can't make a platform that's user-friendly for multiple users. So I'm going to try my hardest. That was my goal. That's one of my goals for this year. And I told everybody the money will stay there. I'll give you a tally as it rises. And excuse me. And if I can't follow through, then I'm just gonna refund everybody. Because that doesn't seem fair to keep anyone's money. It doesn't seem right. Madam Raven said my goal this year, no sugar. Yeah, no pop for me. I for some reason, I never drank pop a lot until this year. And man, if you want to gain some weight, drink pop. Ugh. So no more pop for me. My stepdaughter did the whole year. She went the whole year. She started on January 1st. And I know that she's can't wait to have a pop, but I think that she's not going to drink pop after she's not had it for the whole year. I think she's going to be like, nope, don't want it. Phantom says like every year. Madam Raven, I just subbed Sandra. Girl. So I can go, girl. That's why I wanted to know. But I'd probably do it either way. Let me see here. Female. Okay. Sandra. Sorry, the chat keeps moving on me because I'm so slow at reading it right now. Antonio says, my health is horrible, sometimes due to being disabled and having severe autoimmune disease called mixed connective disease. Sandra, I'm doing better slowly and hope you do too. I'm glad you're doing better, Antonio. LOL Raven, thank you all. Sandra, yes, I hope you feel better. I hope your new year is good. I hope everyone's year is better. I feel like 2018, but I'm knocking on wood as I say this. 2018 is going to be a good year. I feel like it's a good, solid feeling. I just started like the best, and I feel like I'm still like, is this for real? I just started the best job I've ever had in my life with the nicest group of people. And I feel like it was have you ever been around something that you're like, man, I wish this existed with this, 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 and this, like details of what you wish a certain scenario would be like? Have you ever actually stepped into that scenario? Because I have, and I feel like still trying to figure out like if it's real. So I'm in that very grateful phase right now. Antonio, I just beat cancer. Congratulations, Angel. I'm very, very glad to hear that. Phantom, you do fine with that. I'm sure you can pull it off. I don't know. I'm going to try. This chat keeps jumping. I've lost where I was. Okay. Everyone is. My New Year's goal is to make my own YouTube videos for my channel, but not sure what type yet. Billy says you are not allowed to refund my money. It is my way of paying you for keeping me sane. Aw. You guys keep me sane right back. Trust me. I just told you that I had to make videos this week, and then I had nightmares multiple times this week. And I have explained to people when I did a Q&A, for some reason, I've always had very vivid, very real nightmares. And once I started making videos, they dissipated greatly. So when I don't make videos, it really does mess with my mind. Logan, what do you drink if you don't drink soda? Juice, water. The thing is I've got some, what is that stuff we just got? We got sparkling water at Sam's, you know, yesterday. And we have the remains of like a 36 pack of Pepsi in the garage because it's so cold here. That's like a giant refrigerator. If you don't live in the cold, you have an extra refrigerator, which is your garage. And if I drink like a pop, I feel like I'm going to die a slow, painful death. And if I drink anything else, I don't. So soda pop is a devil. You know what I said that like? Bobby Boucher's mother from Waterboy, if you've never seen that movie. What do you drink? Okay. I drink fizzy water instead. Yeah, me too, Kahlest. I really like it. It's a lot lighter on my body, and then I don't feel as awful. Water or Crystal Lighter, pure energy for me. Phantom says, no, it's not real. You are just dreaming. Give me that job instead. Logan, all I drink is soda, so I'm curious as well. My resolution is, and tea. I really love tea, cold or hot. There's like a million different flavors of tea now. And if you haven't had like raspberry twist tea and blueberry tea, I mean, you're missing out, man. Soda pop is a devil. I'm cooking sugar and the caffeine. I can't go without caffeine yet. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not even gonna pretend like I'm gonna go without coffee. It's not gonna ever happen. That would be creepy. I don't care if we are coworkers. I would never be that invasive. Oh, well, we might be expanding soon, so after I get my whole family working there, then I'll keep you in mind. Phantom. Madam Raven says crystallized pure energy. Pure energy has caffeine but no aspartame. Sandra says I'm a water addict. Looking forward to your channels, and yeah, me too. Sandra, when you're ready to quit, you will. I did when I went to Herbal Shop and got Herbal Blend. Brian says Get Out is a badass film. Oh, good, because it really does look like it is a badass film. I watched like the longest trailer ever yesterday for it, and I'm just like, I really wanted to watch it, but it was like, you must buy this. You don't have an option to rent the movie, so I have to go find it because I know I can buy it for cheaper than what it wanted me to buy it for. Not that I'm trying to be cheap. Sandra says, thank you, Kahlest. Phantom says, your favorite pop is Faygo, isn't it? And Werner's and ginger ale. Ginger ale is great. My favorite ginger ale, though, is Werner's. I like Canada Dry, but I love Werner's. Werner's is the best ginger ale. Let's just get that as a fact. And if you don't get Werner's where you live, I'm really sorry. That's all I have to say. Kahlest says, just remember, Sandra, if you have to smoke, it's okay. Then you try again. Yeah, keep trying until you succeed. Don't beat yourself over it. Exactly. When I was like super, super, super young, I'm not even gonna that. Damn Gypsy Dandy said, I'm stuck between a horror channel or an indoor garden. You mean a garden channel? Oh, haha. You can do both. You can do more than one channel. Logan says, I know I shouldn't smoke because I have asthma, but when I'm stressed, I don't know what to do. Can you get like one of those, what's it called, the vape pen? So you get that cessation of smoking without actually inhaling smoke? Or does it still harm you with asthma? I don't know. Antonio says, before 1980, all soda used to be made with real sugar. After high fructose. Yeah. Berners is the best. If you don't feel good, I'm telling you this. If you don't feel good, put Berners in a little like cup in the microwave. And I'm not a big microwave person, but put it in the microwave for like a minute. Just until you see it like starts to bubble up. Take it out and sip that. And I swear to God, you will feel better. It's like magic in a bottle. Kahlest says, Logan, the reason it helps is because you're taking deep breaths and changing your focus. Just try stepping outside. Yeah, Kahlest, I remember watching a thing on people don't breathe deep enough, like in your regular, how you breathe is regularly. If you sit and focus on your breathing, you get more oxygen to your brain and you will feel like you're getting a high because you're actually oxygenating your brain, which is not something that happens all the time. Isn't Berners Michigan exclusive, or do other people have Berners now? Because I know that people have to come up here to get. I run into people all the time when I'm grocery shopping, and they have like a cart full of Berners. They're like, "We're visiting from out of town, so we're getting Berners," because it's too expensive to order it. There's an Australian brand of ginger ale in a glass bottle made with real cane sugar. Berners is what we get here in Arizona. Wow. I don't lean that at all. High sugar. High fructose corn syrup isn't even sugar. Garden. I knew what you meant, Dan Gypsy. Damn Gypsy. Girl, I knew what you meant. That's why I wanted to know. Clee said, don't use vapes. Causes what is called popcorn lung, worse than cancer and asthma. Oh, then yes, please don't do that. I vape and it's helped my lung capacity. Madam Raymond says, my grandson is loving your voice, Duchess. He won't give the other earbud back. What's his name? I'll say his name. Is he listening? How old is he? That's adorable. Antonio says, microwaving popcorn using popcorn kernels and paper bags is wealthier. Healthier. Darn autocorrect. Damn, Gypsy. Yeah, that's funny. 6 more minutes until the new year. I didn't even think I would stream that long, but I'm going to wait, and then after that, I'll call it quits. Sandra says, I was born in 1962 to hippie parents who didn't use health care, so I was born with immune and lung problems. Yeah. Woo. Yikes. Think of all the stuff they did. You know what's weird is, I don't know, like my grandparents grew up in the Depression era, and they were all like, they all had a garden. They all recycled before everyone else recycled. And they knew how to make things from scratch and sew. And like, it seemed like the next generation didn't do any of that. It's like they were like, no, man, we don't want to do that. And so, you know, all my grandparents are gone now. And I wish they were here to teach me some of the things that they knew because my parents didn't do any of it. It's crazy. Phantom, I was born on a pirate ship. His name is Carter. Oh, hi, Carter. That's the cutest name. I have a full-time job. I'd never have time to do 2 channels, but it'd be nice. If you dedicate, like, if you say I'm going to do this channel every Sunday and the other one every Monday, or except just an example, then you could totally do 2 channels. It would just, like the gardening channel, you could do like record an entire hour and you could break that into 4 different videos and that's a whole month for you for that one channel. That's just me talking out of my butt there. Antonio says, you reinvigorated me with this live stream. I don't feel so lonely with doing this with all of you. Oh, Angela, see you guys later. Happy New Year. Bye, Angela. Happy New Year. Kahlest hugs Antonio. Sandra, best New Year's ever. Hugs to all. Thank you, Kale. I'm waiting until it's New Year's before I turn this off. I wonder, do you guys think that there's like a New Year's live stream going on? Like of the ball? New Year's Eve ball drop stream 2017? Or would it be 2018? Oh, here's one. I'll just turn the volume off on it. This one is in CNN. They're in Times Square live right now. And then I can just share it with you. I already, and we could just like put it on the screen. I don't know if I can like show the screen. Let me see if it'll let me. I don't know, it seems to be like slow, so never mind. But there's an actual like a ball drop. There's 3 minutes to go, and it looks like they're trying to count it down already. There's like I didn't know there was one. I ruined a joke because I can't spell. I'm gonna gotta go. Okay, guy who did Rocky New Year's Eve once they gave up. What? There's a Dick Clark's New Year's Eve now. I ruined my joke because I can't spell. Yeah, Phantom, do you know how many times I do that? And I get so mad at myself. I'm out, kids. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Jessica. Ever since that one guy. They made Dick Clark do New Year's Rockin' Eve. It seemed like it was just torture for him. And he really did it the best. I know that Ryan Seacrest is a really, like, the next best thing for that job. But the last year they made him do that, it just seemed like it was torture. You have 2 more hours, Sandra? Well, I got like a minute left, and then I'm going to call it a night. Kahlest said, I would love to start uploading videos on my channel, but I don't have a camera more than my built-in webcam and my cell phone cam. Mine wouldn't be horror, but we more like tasting foods, mostly rations. 3 more hours for me, 1 more for me, Brian says. Counting down already. There's some guy singing, but I haven't muted. Oh, and it's also like, let's see, who's this guy that's singing on here? I can't even tell. I have no idea. They were just way too close to his face. He had a lot of makeup on in the freezing cold. This says it's 11:57 there. No, that can't be right. They should be counting this down. It's already 12. Happy New Year! It's 12. My clock says 12. I don't have any. I made the noise with my mouth. I didn't buy any of those poppers or streamers like I used to every year, like buy those. My stepson, he's probably not listening anymore, but him and his friends like get confetti all over the basement, and then he would take that thing and like drive everyone crazy insane in the house before it was like even 10 p.m. So, and then they're not here. They're in Florida with their mom this holiday season. So,
gunshots and fireworks.
Oh, we can hear fireworks and gunshots if you're in Michigan. Happy New Year, everybody! Oh, Happy New Year! Yes, this is going to be a good year. 2018 is going to be a good year. So as you wake up tomorrow and at wherever you live in the world, I hope you have the best day ever. And just, I don't know, don't put so much pressure on yourself to try to change your whole world. Maybe pick one thing that you want to concentrate on. Don't make it feel like it's a mountain in front of you. Let's start off the year on a positive note and just appreciate where you're at. Yay. We are in 2 different years. You're in the future. The future is awesome. It feels like a whole different world, doesn't it?
I predict 2018 will be awesome.
I feel like it's going to be the best year ever. Yes. I'm going to say goodnight to all of you, and I'm so happy that you all joined me here and brought in the new year with me. Oh, Antonio retracted the message. Okay, I'm sorry. So I'm going to say Happy New Year, kitty baby. I can hear fireworks and probably gunshots soon. So I'm going to have to go out there with our dogs because they're going to start barking pretty soon with all the noise that's going on outside. I want to say Happy New Year and wrap it up. And if you're new here and you don't know how we end a stream here, hey, Pooh Bear. My husband said, Merry New Year. What is that from? What movie is that from?
Trading Places.
Trading Places. It's a super old movie. Anyway, I'm going to say Happy New Year. And if you don't know how we wrap up a stream here, we have a way of saying goodbye. No one leaves this house without saying goodbye and I love you. But you know, we like to keep it light and we do it Mean Girl style. So I'm gonna say Happy New Year and bye.
Bye.
Bye. Love you. Bye.